He's in the house, baby. Touchdown!
Into the end zone. Touchdown!
This is Week 8.
Racing to the end zone.
Goes the distance. Another touchdown. Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Folks, you can't talk about the running game without talking about this man right here. Speedy, versatility. Nate says poetically powerful. You can always count on him to have a big day.
And this guy, JB, he's big, he's strong, he's purposely powerful. He loves contact, he loves going through people. They'll need Derrick Henry today as the Baltimore Ravens take on the Chicago Bears.
That's right, cue the chase, because it's Running Man Sunday, and there's Chase Brown, ready to escape the chaos and outrun anybody that's hunting him, because in the NFL, it is hunter versus hunted.
All right, enough about the run game. Let's talk about the pass game. Joe Flacco, he was out there slinging it last week, 47 pass attempts. He's trying to get the Bengals back to 500.
And speaking of running man, Nate, a huge thank you to Glenn Powell, folks. You can catch him in the upcoming movie, The Running Man. That's where he fights to survive in the world's deadliest game show for $1 billion. The Running Man in theaters November the 14th. And hello, everyone, and welcome to the NFL Today, powered by Ram Trucks. I'm James Brown, back here in Studio 43 with professors all, Bill Cowher, Nate Burleson, and Matt Ryan. You know what? A big day here on CBS in Week 8. And here we are with the headlines for the day. With Lamar Jackson still sidelined, the Ravens hope Tyler Huntley can provide a spark as Caleb Williams and the Red Hot Bears visit Baltimore. Later, a must-see matchup in Mile High. Bo Nix and the Broncos riding a 4-game win streak, that into their showdown against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. And in Indy, Daniel Jones and the NFL's best team, yes, best team, the Colts, look to stop and stay atop the standings when they take on Cam Ward and the Titans in the AFC South battle. Best team right now.
Well, think about the theme of the day, JB, talking about running backs and running game. What can they do for a football team? Well, you think about what it helps develop a young quarterback. It helps backup quarterbacks. We had 8 of them going in this week right now. And look at some of the special ones that you have right now around the league. Jonathan Taylor, James Cook. We talk about Bijan Robinson, Jamar Gibbs, Rico Dowdle. So I say, when you talk about a running game, what does it do for your football team? It helps a young quarterback, a backup quarterback. Helps develop an offensive line. It gives you balance. I've always said it's not about the yards, it's about the attempts. Because to me, when you have balance, you're sustainable for the whole year, particularly when you start getting into December and January and trying to play that football in cold weather.
I couldn't agree more, and we see that happening in Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor has been outstanding this season. I think he should be, right now, the Offensive Player of the Year. Maybe not in the MVP discussion as that's been for quarterbacks, but Offensive Player of the Year. What he's done for Daniel Jones, right? Everything that they do in Indianapolis goes through Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. Off the play action pass, the shots down the field, the checkdowns to him, the explosive plays that come that way. They've been outstanding in the first half of this season. They've got the Titans today. Then they have 9 games remaining. We're going to find out a lot about those this football team in those 9 games. Only one team left on that schedule in those 9 games has a below 500 record. Everybody else is above 500 or better. They're going to go through a gauntlet the second half of the season. They're going to have to rely on Jonathan Taylor.
MVP to quarterback, speaking from a quarterback. Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You're right about that. And JB, you mentioned Dallas and Denver at 425. This is going to be a good one. You have a year 10 quarterback in Dak Prescott. He's trying to build momentum on his squad. On the flip side, you have Bo Nix, the young QB. They already have momentum. They're trying to prove that this isn't just a spark in the middle of the season. This is a real shift for this team. And I understand that you're going to have pressure on both sides, not just to figure out who you are at this point in the year, but actual pressure defensively. These quarterbacks are going to be on the run, and I know we're going to talk about the X's and O's later in the show, but this is as good as it gets on CBS.
And our quarterback, Matt Ryan, spoke the truth, but you can't mention Daniel Jones without mentioning Jonathan Taylor.
No doubt about it.
Hey, folks, and for more on our early slate, we've got our colleagues stationed all over the map. So let's kick things off with the always insightful Evan Washburn, who's standing by in Baltimore. Hello, Evan.
Hey, JB. Well, it's been an interesting 48 hours here in Baltimore. You touched on the main headline. Lamar Jackson remains out. Tyler Huntley steps in. Cooper Rush had his 2 games in relief of Lamar Jackson. Now it's Huntley's turn. He's making his 15th career start. It's the 10th time he's stepping in for Lamar. And talking to Huntley on Friday, he's extremely excited for the opportunity, but more importantly, he's really prepared for it. See, he's had majority of the first team reps for the last 2 weeks, 5 practices to get ready for what amounts, guys, to a playoff game here in Baltimore for the 1-5 Ravens. But for now, let's head to Atlanta and Melanie Collins.
Well, thanks, Evan. With Michael Penix inactive today with a bone bruise in his knee, Kirk Cousins will officially get the start for the Atlanta Falcons today. He will be without leading receiver Drake London, who is inactive with a hip injury, so look for them to rely heavily on Bijan Robinson and that Falcons run game today against Miami. As for the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, a late Sunday morning add to the injury report with an illness that I'm told manifested in a swollen eye, which is why he was out here in early pregame warm-ups with sunglasses on, but I'm told he's just fine. He will start in this game. And with that, we'll send it to Aditi Kinkabwala in Cincinnati.
Melanie, today is day 19 of Joe Flacco's tenure as a Bengal. Now, he admitted he's still working to learn some of his teammates' names, and he's also working to get the Bengals' offensive lingo down. But this is where his superstar wide receivers have been so clutch. Jamar Chase told me all week in the receiver room they've been drilling on play calls and formations so they can offer extra help in the huddle if necessary. Chase told me it's all about extra effort because with Flacco in the building, there's a whole new belief that they can ride that arm into the playoffs. But now, JB, before I send it back to you, we just got some devastating news from the Jets, and that is that longtime center Nick Mangold passed away from complications of kidney disease. He was just 41 years old, spent 11 years on the Jets' offensive line, and 7 of those years, JB, he made the Pro Bowl.
Aditi, thank you so very much. And indeed, we are all deeply saddened by the passing of Nick Mangold, as you mentioned, at the tender age of 41, that after a long battle with chronic kidney disease. Drafted back in 2006, Mangold became the heartbeat of the New York Jets offensive line for more than a decade, and he also remained a proud ambassador for the franchise long after his retirement, having been inducted into the Jets' Ring of Honor in 2022. Our thoughts and prayers are with his wife, Jennifer, their 4 children, and the entire Mangold family.
The NFL Today on CBS is powered by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram.
Time now for our pregame HQ delivered by Domino's.
Do your thing. Caleb Williams. And that is a Chicago touchdown. Do your thing. He's in the 15, 10. The King is in. Touchdown, Ravens.
Here come the swagger. Bring out the cameras. You know you got it. Do your thing.
Bears have intercepted him. Fired. Interception.
You got the magic.
Unbelievable.
Worldwide on the ground. Do your thing. Pick it up, put it down.
Touchdown, Ravens. Here's a great look for
And joining us now from Baltimore to share a little of what's on his mind, our guy, J.J. Watt. I just want to see the smile when he knows that his Burnley soccer team in the 95th minute got it done. But I digress. J.J., the matter at hand, no Lamar Jackson. It is a must-win from my perspective. The Hall of Fame coach corrected me and said, JB, it's a very important game for them. What say ye?
There's no question about it, JB. First, I want to send my personal condolences out to the Mangold family. Such tragic news this morning with Nick. But moving on to this game, Coach is right. It's a very, very important game. If they did indeed lose it, one team in history has went on to the playoffs after 1-6, and I think it was the 1970 Bengals. This is a playoff game, JB. They have to win it. No Lamar. Snoop Huntley's going to step in, and he is going to run a much more similar offense than Cooper Rush was to what Lamar Jackson runs in this offense.
Yeah, and you mentioned Huntley at QB. Listen, the Bears have struggled against the run this year. So the goal is going to be to stop Derrick Henry, force Huntley to beat them in the passing game. Now, I know that's easier said than done, but if I'm the Ravens, I'm looking at that team that's ranked 28th against the run, and we're going to tote that rock in between the tackles and then open up the passing game off of the run.
Yeah, and I think the same goes for Chicago, too, right? It's about establishing that run game early to take some of that pressure off of Caleb Williams. They've done an excellent job with that the last couple of weeks, Coach.
Yeah, and JJ, when you think about the other side of the ball, I think when you talk about the first part of this season, the biggest disappointment has been the defensive side of the ball. But I go back to 2 weeks ago against the Rams. They traded for Alonde Gilman. They got him from the Chargers. Put him in there with Kyle Hamilton. I thought it was their best defensive performance of the year to date. They lost the game, but they showed improvement. What do you think the issues they have, and moving forward, can this defense be good enough to get them to the playoffs?
Yeah, Coach, you said it. Their defense has not been great this year. In that Rams game, they moved Kyle Hamilton a little bit more back into the box, a little closer to the line of scrimmage, and he looked good there, and their defense looked better because of it. Now they get Roquan Smith back this game, which is obviously huge for the defense, but the problem with the defense right now is they're not creating negative plays. They're not getting sacks. They only have 8 sacks on the year. 4 of them are on IR. Have to get pressure on the quarterback, and then they're not getting takeaways. They only have 3 takeaways. So if you're not getting pressure, you have to at least take the ball away. Right now, they're not doing either.
Yeah. JJ, Aaron Rodgers going against the Packers tonight. You did it, right? You went to Arizona, you played against the Texans. I never had the opportunity to do that as a player. What kind of emotions is he going to be feeling tonight?
Yeah, whenever he pictured this day in his mind, I'm not sure he pictured wearing the uniforms they're going to be wearing tonight, those Pittsburgh throwbacks. But I think there's definitely a difference of playing in Green Bay versus playing in Pittsburgh. I think that changes a little bit, but the best part of it is after the game, when you get to give hugs and you get to see everybody and have those moments. During the game, you guys know, football's football. You got to go out there. Those guys are trying to sack him, and they're trying to hit him hard, so he wants to go out there and play well. But there's going to be a really nice moment after the game when he sees a ton of friendly faces that he hasn't seen in a long time, and he gets to share some laughs.
Yeah, he's going to share some laughs, and I know they're going to share some love and showing some love, but let's keep it real. Aaron Rodgers knows how to be a villain. So when it's time to put on a black hat and be that guy, he's going to do it. I'm looking forward to the energy in that stadium.
I know personally, just don't mock that belt he does, because I got 2 sacks on him in a game. I did the belt celebration, then he threw 6 touchdowns right over my head.
Hey, that happened to me on the Lions. He did the same thing to us, bro.
And we know, JJ, that defense coming off the performance last week from Joe Flacco, they got something to prove on Sunday Night Football, don't you think?
Yeah, they have to. I mean, Thursday Night Football, whole nation watching, and it was not pretty. They just let Jamar Chase do whatever he wanted on that field. So Sunday Night Football against the Green Bay Packers, that defense needs to step up in a big way.
Yeah.
JJ, why would a sportscaster want to quibble with a Hall of Fame coach in the descriptor of the game? As you said, very important. Thank you, JJ. Knock him alive, buddy.
Love you guys.
All right, and there is the vet, Joe Flacco. Now, he may be 40, but don't get it twisted. Last week, he was slinging the rock like it was 2012. Now, that's the kind of performance that left all the 40-somethings feeling inspired. But one person might have taken that a little bit too far. Our guy, Kyle Brandt.
Great day to hit the gym. I would know. I've joined gyms in Baltimore, Denver, Jersey, Philly, Jersey, Cleveland, Indy, Cleveland. But I'm 40 years young, and I am riding the high of lunch at Buffalo Wild Wings. Table for one, of course, like a king. Got Evanescence on the old iPod. I bought the sucker with my signing bonus in 08. Still works great, just like me. People say, how do you stay in the game, Joe? By working smarter, not harder. You take pre-workout. I take my kids to school. You wear a banking vest. I wear my weightlifting belt. You can bench 400 pounds. I threw 11 touchdowns in one postseason, yeah. Most guys my age, they're reaching into the Yeti for another IPA. I don't do IPAs, I do PRs. And I just set another one, my 8th team. So don't tell me that you don't have time. I had about 10 minutes to get ready for Pittsburgh, and I hung 3 touchdowns on their billion-dollar defense. Don't tell me you're beaten down by life. I've been on the Browns and Jets twice. Do you know what that can do to a man? And don't tell me you can't keep up with the young kids. I kept Lamar Jackson on the bench for 3 months. Most of all, don't tell me you're too old. Were you teammates with Matt Stover? I was, and he was born in the 60s. Whoa, 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 whoa. Speaking of too old, come on, come on, come on. Up, 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 up. I love you, buddy, but at our age, you got to use a spotter. He's like 14 months older than me. A lot in common. Super Bowl MVPs. I throw to T to score. He throws back T to soar. I'll see him again week 11, unless, of course, I'm traded before then. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing me. And I've been doing these beauties since back in Delaware. Yeah. Now listen, as an old guy in the gym, I believe in 3 things. I lift with my legs, not my back. I stand bare naked in the locker room shaving without a care in the world. And I always end the workout by doing what Mike Tomlin does when he sees me on the other sideline. I sweat. Oh, and Matt Ryan, now that you're 40, next time you cramp up, there's room in here for 2. Sometimes even ice needs a little heat.
Hey! I like it, Kyle. Yes, I'll be in the sauna, man. I'll meet you there. We'll get a little sweat in. It'll be good for us.
Hey, shout out my guy Kyle Brandt, and
awesome.
let everybody know those were some real pull-ups he was doing.
Oh, there it is. There's a little cramp right there.
This is what happens when you're a man of a certain age.
That's right. It
you
happens.
cramp up
Different things
when you're
happen.
sitting down.
That's right. You get to 40, different things happen, right? You got to prepare for that.
Wait, weren't you running uphill last year and tweaked something?
I did pop a calf.
You gotta chill out these days, my guy.
I'm training too hard. I'm like Kyle. I'm in there training too hard.
But think about Joe Flacco. I mean, is this probably the best group of receivers that he's been around since?
Yes.
I don't know what year this is. And just the fact that with the hope that he brings into that locker room right now, that they're talking about this team, they are thinking about the playoffs. They are thinking about getting back into this race right now because of that man's presence.
And as our resident QB, Matt, I want to ask you a question. You know, I feel like quarterbacks, as they get older, they learn how to take care of the ball, but there's also this element, how can I say this, where they kind of just don't give a, if you know what I'm saying. And it allows them to play free.
Well, there's nothing that's going to pop up that he hasn't done.
There you go.
Right? Like, there's no defense that he's going to see that he hasn't seen, up until this point. There's no interception or game situation that he's going to go through that he hasn't been through. But, Coach, I'm with you. I don't think he's ever thrown to a guy like that. Jamar Chase is as good as it gets. I thought one of the interesting comments from Joe during the week was saying, you know what? I was nervous the first time I was throwing to him. At 40 years old, still a little nervous because this guy's such a special talent. I think what he's going to do is he's only going to continue to get more comfortable with the guys like Jamar or T. Because, honestly, and I want to ask him about this when we get the chance to talk to him, but, like, learning the scheme is one thing. Learning players is another thing. I think that's the part that takes more time.
And I just hope Zach Taylor can just learn the one thing is the running back we talked about in the first segment. It's about attempts and not yards. Last week, Chase Brown, 11 attempts. He had over 100 yards. And it may be 11 attempts this week and maybe 40-some yards. But give him another 8 to 9 things because he will break one off. So be patient with the running game. Don't ask him to do so much or take too many hits. And I think if you do that, it also will help your defense, and they get Trey Hendrickson back.
And it's also just setting up the threat of the run.
Yes.
And as a wide receiver, I'm loving it. Listen, I'm out there blocking my butt off. And as soon as they call that play action, I'm coming in like I'm going to do the same thing, block, and then I'm right over the top. And that's where you get those big plays.
Is there a better poker face in the league than Joe Flacco if he was nervous?
No, man. He doesn't look like he's ever nervous. He doesn't look like he's ever
Y'all better chill out with all that poker stuff, JB. All right, each week on Nickelodeon, join yours truly and my guy, Young Dylan, as we turn the highlights into slime lights and find out who takes home the slimiest trophy in the land, the MVP, all that and more on NFL Slime Time Wednesdays at 5 Eastern and Thursdays on Paramount Plus.
Coming up on the NFL Today, head coach Ben Johnson has Caleb Williams and the Bears moving in the right direction. Could this be the year Chicago finally breaks through? Joe Flacco's performance last week has Bengals fans dreaming of a second-half run. Matt will talk to the veteran QB before today's game against the Jets. And the guys are ready to break down today's matchup between the Cowboys and Broncos. Wait until you hear how they think it'll all play out. All that and more when the NFL Today returns on CBS.
It's gonna be a great day, mate. Enjoy the show, baby. Let's go. Go. Let's go. Undeniable. Let's go. Touchdown, Denver. What a catch.
And it's all Broncos. Dallas, Denver. That'll be a great one.
And later this afternoon, our doubleheader continues when most of you will see the Cowboys riding into Mile High for a meeting with the Broncos, while some of you will catch the Titans and the Colts. And with kickoff just about a half hour away, time now to set the scene at your game as we take you out first on the field, presented by Burger King. The latest news and updates on your matchup.
JB, it's an important interconference matchup today here in Baltimore. The Ravens hosting the Bears, who come in riding a 4-game winning streak. And welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Ian Eagle, J.J. Watt. For Baltimore, coming off the bye, they are 1-5, and now they're just trying to turn their season around. Lamar Jackson will not play, missing his 3rd straight game with a hamstring injury. So it's Tyler Huntley getting the start at QB.
Yeah, and Snoop Huntley is a familiar face around these parts in Baltimore. It's his 15th career start. In 2021, he led the Ravens to a win over the Bears. So he's looking to fill in for Lamar and run a little bit more of that quarterback-driven offense. And then for the Bears, it's Caleb Williams. He's got a 61% completion percentage on the year, but the team's on a 4-game win streak right now, and they all say they have yet to play a full, complete game.
The success, though, for the Bears on offense, the running game has set the tone. It's been explosive the last 2 weeks. DeAndre Swift is putting up gaudy numbers.
He is. He's had back-to-back 100-yard games, and if he can get another one today, it'll be the first time since 2013 for the Bears when Matt Forte did it. That running game has been great. On the other side, Derrick Henry for the Ravens against the LA Rams finally got a 100-yard game again with 122 yards. He gets Patrick Ricard back today to lead the way for him, which they're hoping will spark that run game once again.
And he'll be going against his former teammate in Tennessee and close friend, Kevin Byard. We know that turnovers come in bunches in this league. Well, Byard's got a bunch of them. 4 interceptions in his last 4 games.
He sure does. The Bears are #1 in turnover margin, and Byard has been a huge part of that. That defense is so advantageous taking the ball away, and the Ravens need to get some takeaways. They only have 3 on the year. They're hoping that Roquan Smith coming back is going to help that.
Bears and Ravens coming up on the NFL Today, an in-pads interview with Bengals QB Joe Flacco.
It's going down. We are back on the road again.
Let's get this show on the road.
Live from Orchard Park.
Doing the Lambo leap. The Kansas City Chiefs.
That's right, folks. Hey, the fun continues when the NFL Today heads back on the road. Next week, we'll reunite with Bills Mafia in Buffalo. Week 11, we're riding out to Mile High in Denver.
Yeah, I can't wait to go on the road, but look who's with us right now. We got Joe Flacco joining us. Joe, what's up, man? It's Matt here in the studio. How you doing?
How you doing, fellas? Doing well.
Thank you for joining us. All right, so we'll get you on your way quickly, but I want to learn about the last couple of weeks for you. What has been more difficult, right? Learning the playbook or adjusting to the wide receivers? Because I think that's underrated, like learning new targets and getting a feel for how they run routes.
For sure. I mean, luckily I have some good ones. So, just grinding on the playbook has been my biggest focus.
How about this Jets defense, right? So the Jets have struggled as a team, but the issues have not been on the defensive side of the ball. It's a good unit. How do you get after these guys today?
Yeah, listen, I was there a couple years ago with these guys for a few years. I know what they're made of and what they're capable of. So we're just going to be patient and just play the way we know how to.
All right, so I saw your comments about eating alone at the bar this week. I've been wondering about some of the other things that you're doing alone, maybe going to trivia night or something like that. So I thought maybe I'd ask you a little 2008 draft class trivia since we were both in that class. There are 3 players in the league from the 2008 draft class right now, you being one of them. Who are the other 2?
And Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson. Too easy. My bad. I can't stump this guy.
There you go.
Hey, we're having trivia down in Atlanta in a couple weeks. You come down and join me, all right?
All right, there you go.
All right, Joe. Good luck today, man. Thank you for joining us.
Yep, we'll see you.
That's so cool, man. I love our In the Pads interview.
No question.
He was answering the question before I was asking.
No kidding.
Stop it.
He has this demeanor that brings calm to an organization. Let's just call it what it is. It was free falling at one point. So he was brought in not just as a Band-Aid, but as a stabilizer, and he's doing just that.
And just his approach to the game at this point in his career, he just embracing the whole journey. It's like whether he's the family's here, there, he's got this window of time. And for him to be able to say, if I'm going to go out with this group of receivers and this football team with this opportunity right now, there is a freedom with which he's playing with. I think you've seen it play on the field.
And I think you guys hit it. They've got to run the football a little bit, right? But Joe's at the stage of his career where if you asked him to throw it 47 times, it's not going to fluster him, right? Where that's different from a Jake Browning that they were playing a couple of weeks ago. That can be overwhelming as a player without a lot of experience. But for a guy like Flacco, all right, it could be 10, 15 pass attempts. It could be 47. It doesn't matter.
Let me just add this in real quick. Joe Flacco has never really been a threat to run. Now, at this age, he really wants to stick in the pocket.
No doubt.
JB, that is music to a wide receiver.
I know it.
Come on now. So I know those wideouts are loving Flacco back there.
And he gets rid of the ball quickly, does he not? No question about it. Hey, meanwhile, in Chicago, second-year signal caller, check it out. Caleb Williams seems to be nicely coming into his own during the Bears' 4-game winning streak. Mac, talk about what you're seeing.
Well, I think there's an understanding of what he's being asked to do and how he's being coached. I think Ben Johnson has done an excellent job. But you look at the stats and what they've done here the last couple of weeks, I mean, it's not crazy. It's not overwhelming in terms of pass game or anything like that. But how they have used him, to me has been significant. Let's take a look at some of this, okay? Right here, we're going to move him out of the pocket, off of the run game. We're going to cut the field in half, coach. Give him a half-field read, high to low. Can he have the vision in front? Can he have the timing, right? You get outside the pocket, there's nobody around his feet, he delivers a good football right there. Okay, let's do it again, off the play action, but we're going to stay in the pocket. Same idea, we're going to run the drag route, we're going to have the motion, but we're going to keep it on the left side of the field right here. We're going to cut the field in half. Give him a clean look to throw. Let's reverse it. Let's look from behind. Nothing over there on the right side. All of it's going to be in front of me to the left. What can he do? There's space. Number one, good job designing it, creating space. But it's a half-field read. He can be confident in doing it. Where do you have to make plays as a young quarterback? You have to make plays on 3rd down and in the red zone. Right here, 3rd and 7. Look at this pocket. Good pocket, but there is people around him. This ball's out on time in tight coverage and the location. High and away on the outside. I think it's a beautifully thrown football in a safe spot. And I think that's the thing that I have seen with Caleb Williams is he is being coached to throw to certain spots, whether it's extending plays and throwing the ball on the sideline low, throwing that out route high and away. They're in safe positions to not turn the football over.
And I think what Ben Johnson has done is reconstructed this quarterback from this thinking standpoint. He's not taking sacks. He's not throwing interceptions. And I think that Ben Johnson made a statement after 2 losses. This football team doesn't practice with the sense of a championship caliber team. So he called out his football team. Ben Johnson, to me, early candidate for Coach of the Year. He's changed the culture up there. He's changed the whole demeanor. This is a football team that we're sitting there, can they do this, can they do that? They've won 4 games in a row. Their defense is taking the football away. Their quarterback is getting better each and every week. And oh yeah, there's a running game now. DeAndre Swift becomes out there. That helps your offensive line. First thing he does when he gets there. Then we get a center and 2 guards. 3 new guys. It starts with the offensive line, the defensive line. He's changed the whole culture up there, and this is a football team. Again, today, big game going against Baltimore, but they are a factor right now in the NFC North.
Let's just keep it real, man. When it comes to quarterbacks like Caleb, who's been talented his whole life, who's been gifted his whole life, and then you're supposed to be this draft pick that will shift the franchise, it's hard for you not to play hero ball. The pressure is on for you to salvage every single play when it goes awry. But then you bring a coach in like Ben Johnson, you allow him to play clean, play fast, see the field differently. And then you have a creative coach that can also use some of those creativity, the creative trick plays, not as a bailout, but as a bonus to what this offense is doing. I just love that Ben Johnson has helped shifted the mindset. You don't see Caleb putting on the cape as much anymore and doing too much on every single play. That means that he understands the system schematically and he understands what type of offense his head coach wants to run.
And if you look at some of these guys in their second year, the first year they come in, they're a big man on campus. They're the #1 pick, supposed to be the face of the organization. But you know what? You realize you walk in that room, and you're just like nobody else. You don't have to win games. You're just going to be a part of this football team. And I think when you look at a lot of the quarterbacks around the league right now, the young guys, they're having great careers. Their second year. If all of a sudden the game has slowed down, their responsibility has been kind of lifted from their shoulders.
But having the right coach
Bill, I don't know if that's necessarily the word that you would use, deconstructing the attitude to be more team-focused.
Yeah, and I think, as you're talking about, there's a bunch of young quarterbacks in this National Football League right now that, I mean, you're talking about to me, Drake May.
Yeah.
I look at Drake May. To me, Drake May is a great example. Josh McDaniels, Drake May in his second year, and you get Mike Vrabel. What's he doing? 75% completion percentage. He's sitting there. He has only thrown 2 interceptions. Here's the biggest thing: 17 first downs running.
There you go.
He's extending drives. He's making good decisions. He's got a good defense around him, and they got a defensive-minded head coach. This is, to me, Drake May. You talk about what he's done in his second year. He's taken the next step.
Yeah, you talk about taking those next steps. And I think, in part, both those guys have been asked to do a little less. Maybe Drake May a little bit more, but they're seeing results from that too, right? There's positive results. I think the same can be said for Daniel Jones in Indianapolis, right? The running the football, the having Jonathan Taylor, the explosive plays that come off this, the ability to then throw the football down the field because the threat of run is there. Loaded boxes, play action passes, vertical passing game down there. But you have to see some of those results. When you're a young player or you're a guy that's now in his third stop, you have to have some positive feedback, right, to get your confidence building. I think the thing that we have seen with all 3 of those situations is that positive feedback that they've gotten. It's been huge for their confidence.
Another example of that is what's going on in San Francisco. How about Mac Jones and Kyle Shanahan? And Kyle Shanahan is coming in and saying, I don't need you to be Brock Purdy. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do is tailor this offense around your skill set. I'm going to allow you to have these rhythm passes in the passing game that makes you comfortable. Make sure my wide receivers and pass catchers are on point. Use the play action as another way to get you in space and make these clean reads. It's one thing to have a backup come in and play and survive. It's another thing to have a backup come in and be comfortable. I think that is more about the coach and how he is coaching that QB
Nate,
than it is about the quarterback.
Because the back end of this, you're right. The headline, coach has said it for days, coaching matters.
No doubt
and
about
they're getting it done. All right, folks, and speaking of that, coach has said it again, time and again, a young quarterback's best friend is a great running back.
And that's Derrick Henry right there, JB. So Snoop Hundley is going to lean on him a lot today because we don't have no Lamar Jackson. But don't worry, Derrick Henry can pick up the slack.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Prime. Shopping, streaming, savings. It's on Prime. Little Caesars, the official pizza sponsor of the NFL. And by Ram Trucks. Nothing stops Ram.
This week, members of the Dallas Cowboys Rookie Club visited the Salvation Army Maybe Social Service Center, that to play games with kids, and officially opened the center's new education station.
The Giants have dramatically outplayed the Broncos. Denver has the football down, 5.5 to go in the game.
Bo scampers into the end zone with a Denver touchdown. And it's a 10-point game. Intercepted. It's picked up by Stannard. Oh, disaster. We've got a football game suddenly. Next on a design quarterback run. Ball is into 5. Touchdown, Denver. Denver has the lead. Dart dives. Wow. And the Giants are back on top.
It gets up into the extra point, and he missed it.
We'll see if they have some magic left here. Sutton makes the catch. Denver, they kill it with 2 seconds. 39-yard field goal for the win. He got it. And Denver scores 33 points in the 4th quarter.
Ooh, baby, Bo Nix looked like the king of the 4th in last week's comeback win. Check this out. 220 total yards, 4 tutties, all in the 4th, becoming the first player in league history with 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns, that in a single quarter. Folks, we'll see if he can carry that momentum into today.
That's right, at 425, Cowboys-Broncos. This is a tale as old as the West, but this ain't no rodeo, baby. 2 iconic franchises meeting on that same dusty Main Street with the whole league watching. Dallas trying to prove that they still belong among the NFL's elite. And the Broncos, fresh off that wild come-from-behind win over the Giants, they're not just defending their turf. They are kicking the saloon doors open and daring folks to call them pretenders. We know the altitude is high, but the stakes are even higher. And when the dust settles under those Rocky Mountain lights, only one rides off with a tipped hat and one more story for the campfire. It's going to be a good one, Coach.
Good. You know, I was just enjoying listening to that.
Yeah, let's go.
That was pretty well done. And I'll tell
Thank you.
And I think it was when you talk about that, the rubber meeting the road, I think you're talking about the offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys. They've only given up 8 sacks this year, right? And they're protecting Dak Prescott. And
yep, for sure.
Trio of CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson. But you're going against a Vance Joseph defense. They lead the league 34 sacks, 15 different players. Zach Allen up front, Nick Petito, Jonathan Cooper, back end, Patrick Surtain, Riley Moss. This is going to be a great job when you talk about the Denver defense going against the #1 offense in the National Football League, Dallas. Yeah, I mean, it's great.
And you got a veteran quarterback, right, that is going to understand how to handle some of the looks that Denver is giving the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott's been absolutely electric all season, throwing the football down the field, putting the team on his back. Their defense has struggled for the majority of the regular season so far, but Dak is not, he doesn't flinch. There's no flinch in his game, regardless of what he has to do. If he's got to throw it 40 times, he's going to go out there, and he's playing great ball right now.
All Nate needed was a Clint Eastwood
that was
Fred the Hammer with that.
Hey.
Fred the Hammer. Oh, my gosh, that was excellent. All right, folks, hey. We're getting closer to kickoff, which means it's time to go no huddle. And in honor of Matt talking with Joe Flacco earlier, all the questions are themed around their 08 draft class. Hey, Joe Flacco was ready. Matt,
right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here you go. Which current NFL head coach was drafted in 08?
Kevin O'Connell.
Ooh,
he likes to say.
Hey.
He likes to say that I may have peaked at his Wonderlic test at the combine. Regardless, he was
well done. 1 for 1.
Okay. I'm going to see if if you just weren't focused on your own career or others in your draft.
Am I
class.
selfish?
Which player has the most Pro Bowl appearances from the 2008 NFL Draft?
Oh man.
Yeah, I told you. I knew you'd have trouble with this one. No. You were just thinking about yourself. I mean, so go ahead. Who else?
You.
Come on.
Okay, offensive side of the ball.
Coach, I got no idea.
Special
I'm not. Special teams? Come on, man.
Matthew Slater.
Matthew Slater.
Matthew Slater.
Heck
of a player.
Good. 1 for 2. That's all right. Here you go, Matt.
Absolutely.
Now,
Sorry, Matthew.
We know that
well
you
done.
have the most passing yards of any player in the 2008 draft class. But which players went on to have the most rushing yards and receiving yards? So think about the running backs and receivers. Who stood out?
Chris Johnson was a heck of a running back. Matt Forte, I would say Matt Forte.
Ding, 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 ding. Wide receiver now.
Good.
Wide receiver from that class.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
Deshaun?
Deshaun Jackson.
Hey. Deshaun, well done, man. Well done.
Give some love to a flyer, man. Matthew Slater, he covered more punts and more kickoffs.
I know.
Man.
You're right.
Sure
You're
did.
right, though, Coach. I was selfish. I wasn't worried about the special
That
teams
was
back
impressive,
then. He was a heck of a player.
Mr. BC. All right. Hey, folks, time now to play your game with FanDuel. You can bet same-game parlays and more on any NFL game with FanDuel. My guys, the question is, are your picks for today's same-game parlays plus Nate?
All right, so I'm a double dip right now with the Cowboys, and this makes sense because these guys are attached to each other. Dak Prescott, 2 pass TDs, and then CeeDee Lamb back out there balling 70 yards receiving.
Okay, that's a pretty good defense you're talking about, but I'm going to go on the other side of the same game. That's a 32nd defense of Dallas. How about Courtland Sutton having at least 60 receiving yards? I think that's pretty good.
He's been their go-to guy.
Yeah,
that's a good one, Coach.
All right, let's go to Atlanta. Michael Penix out. Drake London out. Kirk Cousins in. What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson. 125 total yards today for Bijan. I think they give him the ball. They throw it to him. He gets the over.
Hey, let me go back to Kyle Brandt, Nate's guy here. He only takes, 2 or 3 takes usually for any of his pieces. But you said he did how many pull-ups in that?
Did about 40 pull-ups
Shout out to Kyle.
Give us that piece he did on Joe Flacco.
Without breathing hard.
Without breathing hard, man. And I'll tell you what, my dude is jacked underneath that jersey.
Yeah,
you know
100%. You saw the biceps in there. Those biceps don't happen by accident, JB. You got to get in there. You got to work. Kyle's putting in the work.
No doubt about it. Just like Joe Flacco putting in the work.
Just like Joe Flacco's putting in the work.
We have some good games, I'm telling you. I think you look at the Chicago-Baltimore game. To me, that's a very pivotal game, very defining game for Chicago and also for Baltimore.
Baltimore, coach, it could be over for the Ravens if they don't get this done.
I disagree with you.
Speaking of over, nice segue, Nate. Thank you very much to set up there. Hey, folks, we'll see you back here at halftime. But first, with kickoff just a few minutes away.
Sit your butt down. Don't you go anywhere. We will get you out to your game next.